It's just a fake fur, fake skin, yes.
Well,
Leopard print robe.
My sister sewed a robe for me.
Cool, that's nice. Okay, so Wild Bear, are you having a good week?
I am.
Anything wild and exciting happen this week, or just a regular week?
Just pretty regular.
That's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
We did go fishing and we fell in the water. It was pretty fun.
When he fell in the water?
That would be funny. Winnie the Pooh is Bible Bear's cousin, for those of you that don't know. So Winnie the Pooh, do you have a scripture for us today, Bible Bear?
You know what? I believe I do. Okay, this one comes from Matthew 25:29. Okay, now I want everybody up.
Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up.
Okay, ready? We're going to say this together.
Given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has, will be taken from him. Matthew 25:29.
That's a very good job. Everybody give her a hand. What's a talent that you have, TJ? The athletics. Yeah, you can jump over tables, which just totally scares Nicole to death. TJ has been known to be running and be in a hurry and just jump over the tables rather than going around them. And the first time Nicole saw him do that, she started screaming, yelling. Yeah. Be a witness on the playing field. Okay, Devin, what's your talent? Basketball. And how can you use that talent for the Lord? Have a Christian attitude when you're playing. Sometimes that's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes that is hard because you get mad, you get aggravated, somebody steals the ball, or the ref calls a call you think isn't fair. Okay, Kevin, what's the talent you have?
Actually, I can play the piano.
Yes, Kevin. How many of you knew that about Kevin, that he plays piano?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's really pretty, kid. Oh, that's really pretty, kid. What is your talent? Singing, and Audrey actually used her talent for the Lord today. She leads the worship back here with Pastor Tim, but she actually was snuck out for about 20 minutes and led the worship with Gabe
Audrey.
and Audrey. Who was up there?
Audrey Virgin and
Actually, have like some.
Yeah. And Gabe, I'm taking it your talent
blowing bubbles.
is blowing bubbles. Do you have another talent you'd like to discuss with us? I know you get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to lift weights, yet you've got bubble all over my nose here.
Makes it pretty though.
Yeah, sure. So do you have another talent you want to tell us about besides blowing bubbles? Awesome. We have a lot of athletes in this church, don't we?
Yeah.
But Gabe is blowing bubbles, so I want you all to think about this. The lesson we're gonna study today talks about how God can take your talents away from Him if you don't use them for Him. So think about the talent you have that you enjoy the most, and how you can lose it if you're not serving God with it. Okay? So the 5 talents, which is a lot of money, and he put it to use. What that means is he probably either took it to the bank and let them trade on it, or he speculated in what would be the equivalent of the stock market now, or whatever, and he made 5 more talents. How many talents did he have? 10 talents. Okay? And the second man who had 2 talents did the exact same thing. He gave him 2 talents. He did the exact same thing, and he made 2 more talents. How many did he have? 4. And the third servant was scared. He was so afraid of losing the master's money or something going wrong that he went over and he dug a hole in the ground.
He did like D-Dog.
And he hid the money. And he How many talents did he have when the master came back? One. He still had one. And finally the master came home. And he called his servants together. And he said, the man with 5 talents came in, had 5 more, so he had 10 talents. And the master he said, Master, you gave me 5, I kept your 5, and I made 5 more, so I have 10 talents to give you back. And the master was thrilled, because that was like double his money. And he was just beyond thrilled. He was excited, he was happy, and so I told the servant, he said, come in and enjoy my fellowship. Come in. That solidified the man's position. Get that.
What exactly did he do for his fellowship?
Well, he probably got to eat the fatted calf, and they probably had a big party and all like that. You see, remember, the servants didn't always eat with the masters. You had to be a special servant to get to eat with the master. Usually, the masters ate the best food, and the servants ate the leftovers. If that. But then the second, I started saying disciple, I apologize. Second servant came in, and he said, Master, you gave me 2 talents, and I made 2 besides that, so I have 4 talents to give you back. 4 talents. And the master was excited because he had doubled his money too, hadn't he? And the third servant came in. And he'd gone out to the ground, and he dug up the talent, and he brought it to the master. He said, Master, I know you're hard. You're hard to work for, you're hard to live with. You sow, you reap where you don't sow, you harvest where you didn't plant. And I didn't want to take a chance on losing your money. How many of you know if even if you just put it into the bank, it would have earned money? Called interest. Your mom and dad, a lot of you probably have checking and savings accounts. You leave that money alone and don't touch it, it earns what's called interest. And it's more money. Yes, James?
If I put my $89 in there, would I earn interest?
A little bit. Interest rates are very low right now, but you would earn something. So I was afraid of you, and I didn't want to take a chance on losing your money. So here's your 1 talent back. I hid in the ground. Here it is back. Was the master happy?
Yeah.
He was mad. He said, you knew I was mean. You knew I was hard. You knew I was hard, and you didn't do it like that. You didn't earn me any money. You should have at least put it in the bank and earned interest. And did he welcome the third servant to the party?
No.
What did he do with him? Threw him outside in the cold. Threw him outside into the cold. So in the parable today, who's the master?
You.
No, I'm not the master. God. God is the master. No, God is the master. And who are we? We're the servants. And God has given each one of us a talent. God has given each one of us at least one thing we're good at, and some of us more. But if we don't use those talents for Him, the Bible says to take them away, doesn't it? May I borrow this for a minute? How many of you know what this is? Okay, so today we're going to pretend, use your pretend hats on. We're going to pretend we don't know what this is. It could be a plate.
Plate.
Oh, plate. TJ thinks it's a hat. It could be a flag. It could be on the wall. And Audrey, what are you thinking it is, baby girl? Oh, you want to dig in the dirt? Oh.
Shovel. There you go.
Okay. Shoulder pad.
What about Gabe? What's Gabe thinking?
Gabe, what do you got over there, bud? What do you think it is?
Oh, I got a plate.
You got a plate. You're going to eat dinner on that today?
I think it's a
Cameron, if you don't have one of these at your house, Gabe doesn't get to eat. He said he's eating off this, okay? You make sure Mom knows my rule, okay? All right? So, God, you know, this is a really, how many of you like your high-tech toys? You like your tablets and your video games? This is a pretty low-tech toy, isn't it?
It's a 1.
They're fun, aren't they? What are they made for? It's a shield. They're made to fly. They do not hurt children. These girls do not hurt children.
Surfing on like a surfboard?
I don't see that happen, TJ. The frisbees were made to fly. They were made to fly high a lot of these out. God has a talent. He has given each one of you a talent. Some of you more than one. Some of you can play an instrument and you can sing. Some of you, how many of you are good at drawing? How many of you like to draw? Like to do art? You know, think about this. An architect who was really good at drawing designed a church for real estate, isn't he? There was an architect that came in and drew the plans. This is how you need to build a church. And he did a pretty good job, if I could say so. You know, he did. He told the deacon. There was an engineer who's very good at drawing. How many of you ever go to the Eldon pool? I mean, you can't wait for the Eldon pool to open again. They told them, this is how you need to build this pool. This is how it should be. You need to have 0 walk-in. That's where how many of you like it? You can just walk in. For those of you that are shorter, it's nice because you have to jump in. And you have the fountains, and you have the animals, and you have all that stuff. A man in his head thought that through, put it on paper, and told the builders how to build it. See, some of you that are good at art. Every one of you has a talent, at least one. But the Bible says if you use that talent for God, He'll give you more. But if you don't use that talent for God, what can He do? Take it away. He can take it away. Yes, He can take it from you. He can take it back. And He can give it to somebody else. You know, I thought it was really sad. It's been a while back. One of the ladies in the church, and this is a grown-up, I'm not talking about any of you kids, I'm glad I'm not. But God told her to do something. God told this lady, she felt it in her heart, that God had told her to do something. And she called me and she said, God told me to do this. I'm like, well, I'm happy for you. That's awesome. Go do it. She said, and basically what she said to me is, I don't want to be inconvenienced and I don't want to be burdened, so you go do it. But if I had done it, would she have gotten the blessing? No. She was only going to receive the blessing if she did it, right? You would have. That's right, and I did do it. Because she didn't, and it was to invite somebody to church. Now, when God tells you to bring somebody to church, invite somebody to church, what should you do? Invite them. How many of you know, sometimes it's an inconvenience to serve God, isn't it? Kevin, there are times when it's easier to stay home with it. Be honest.
Yeah.
Come on, Kevin, shake your head, yes. Yeah, but we should want to come, and we should want to serve God.